Good afternoon and welcome to the January 19th, 2023 meeting of the Rotary Club of Orlando. I'd like to extend a special welcome to all visiting Rotarians and our guests. We're very glad that you could join us at our meeting today. I'd like to start the meeting with an invocation from past President Jim Stowers.
Good afternoon. Pray with me, please. Almighty God, bless us that we might strengthen our hearts and minds to retain the ideals of Rotary and also practice them. Bolster our spirits through friendships and acquaintances, both old and new, and to constantly search for the chance to invite new friends to join us. Help us hold our ethical standards high in our lives, in our homes, and in our work, and ever strive to advance goodwill in our land and over all the earth. Give us strength to serve wherever we're asked, to whatever capacity, and work like the burden lay solely with us, regardless of what the effort may be. And grant, through our faith in you, in our friends and in our club, that our efforts will better our lives, and through our lives, better Rotary. Amen.
All right, thank you, Jim. Now for patriotic music, Harry Voorhees.
Why don't we sing something new? My country, 'tis of thee. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where our fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let you ring.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now to introduce all of our visiting Rotarians and guests, Chris Hunter.
Thank you, President David. It's my pleasure to introduce visiting Rotarians and guests today. We have two visiting Rotarians. When I call your names, please stand and remain standing so we can properly greet you afterwards. So I have David Rose from Orlando Breakfast. David, welcome. And then we have somebody from Hsinchu, Silicon Valley, Taiwan. We have Magic Eric. Welcome, welcome from Taiwan. First Rotarian that I know of visiting from Taiwan here. Jim Alifat, a guest of Denny Career. Jim, welcome. Mary Crimmins, guest of George Huffman. Welcome. Hugh Jones, a guest of Candace. You? Oh, back there? Hey, okay. And that's it. So Orlando Rotary, how do we greet our visitors?
Sit down. All right, thank you, Chris. Now that we've done our introduction of guests, I'd like to ask Eric. Eric, would you please come up here? As Chris just said, Eric is a visiting Rotarian from Taiwan, and he's all the way from Taiwan to exchange banners with our club. So, Eric, let me present you with a banner from the Rotary Club of Orlando. We got, we're gonna get a photo of this. Hey, Jason. Oh, Bill. Bill, sorry, I was looking for Bill. Okay. Yeah. Right here. All right. Shake hands. All right. We go, ready? All right. Thank you very much.
And also the tea from Taiwan.
Oh, wonderful. We have also tea from Taiwan.
Yeah, also tea from
Would
Taiwan.
you like to say a few words?
No, thank you.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Eric. We have some tea from Taiwan and a banner from Taiwan. And there is our banner that you can take back to your club.
Really cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Let's have a hand for Eric.
This Scott.
Okay, and now
Hey,
I'd
Bill,
like
how you doing?
to ask Ron Tayo to please come up here,
I do.
talk about our attendance.
Yeah, very blue.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. This is a new year, and we have two
Yeah,
people.
down the street a little bit. No, they sold it to somebody who.
Could I ask our Zoom attendees to please mute their phones? If you're on a call on Zoom, please mute your computer. Thank you. Go ahead, Ron.
Here we go again. In January, we have two people in the club that have perfect attendance for at least 1 year and one for 35 years. New member Allison Carestis has 1 year of perfect attendance. That's fantastic. She joined the club and hasn't missed a day, hardly at all, and made them up. And back in the corner, Denny Career, the man with imagination, ideas, and always got something working. 35 years.
All right, 35 years. Congratulations, Denny. That's great. Now for an update on our upcoming golf tournament, I'd like President-elect Chris Whitney. Poker tournament. My mental blank. Sorry.
I'm not doing the
Anyway,
golf. I'm only-
you're doing the poker tournament, so please.
Excitement is growing in the poker tournament. February 4th, all hands on deck. How many of you today have recently received an email from Tammy to volunteer? Yeah, you haven't volunteered yet. We're trimming that list so we're not annoying everybody. So please, if you have your hand up, let's get online, let's get that signed up. Great things are happening. We have over 120 players already signed up to play, on our way to 160 or so. So there's still rooms. If you have friends or family want to have a great evening, play some games and raise money for charity, that's all good. Our big volunteer thing is the table monitors. We need 20 people for that. I think we've got 5 or 6 at the moment. 3 is the new number. That's probably the most fun job of the evening, is to get to hang around the poker table, see all the fun, sell people chips when they need them, and you don't lose any money. So it's a whole poker experience without actually losing money. So we have bunches of prizes coming in. Today we just got a Brit somewhere here gave us a foursome for Drub's Dead. I think it's our 3rd foursome now. So if you like to play golf, come play poker and you get a chance to play more golf. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Chris. And now I'd like to ask John Stein, past President John Stein, to come up and say a few words about our volunteer projects that we have going. John has been championing these projects for us for many years. Too long. He does a great job for us.
This is a 3 for today. We have a shortage of people to act as chaperones for our field trips for our Title I schools. I'm still looking for a person to serve as a chaperone on Thursday, February the 16th with OCPS ACE, which is right down the street. And then I'm looking for 2 people to work with Molly Ray Elementary on Tuesday, February the 28th. Now, takes about 4.5 to 5 hours to be a chaperone. You're not a disciplinarian. You're there to make sure things run smoothly. And 2 things, make sure that they get the food on the bus for their lunch. And secondly is that you let the driver know exactly where they're going, and that if they get lost, they have a phone number to call. Now, that has happened, so I'd like for you to reach and look at your schedules, either Thursday, February the 16th, or Tuesday, February the 28th. I'm looking for people for that. Now, we still have some openings on the book fair, which starts next Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We have a couple of openings where no one is scheduled. I'd like for y'all to look at the schedule as you go out. You've gotten things in the email to sign up for. And finally, the threefer. Last week, we had a program about the Rotary Foundation. Everyone who looked at that program realized the good that the Rotary Foundation does for the world. But we only do it when our Rotarians will join the Rotary Foundation and contribute. I ask each one of you who had not to consider and give $100 to become a sustaining member to the Rotary Foundation. I can think of nothing better than to make a child's life better, and so that they could go through and be accepted for the entire time. Thank you. Uh-oh, I'm getting countermanded here.
What John didn't tell you is we have an anonymous donor who has stepped up again and will give $1,000 or $100, matching each of your $100 up to a $1,500 maximum. So we need 15 people to step up.
Thank you, Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous Donor. That's something that's news to me, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. And thank you to District Governor-elect nominee, Dr. Richard Harris, for that quick announcement. We appreciate you, Dick. Thanks very much. Okay, now I'd like Denny Career to come up and talk about our raffle.
There's still a lot of confusion about this. If you buy a raffle ticket, you can talk at Happy Dollars. It's benefiting the club. If you're going to give more than $5 to the club for Happy Dollars, let us know, because we're going to give you corresponding tickets for that. For every $5 you get one ticket. Every $10 you get 3 tickets. This all helps the club. We want to build this pot. We're a little bit over $300 right now. The winner's going to get half. If the winner wants to, they can give it back to the club. The point is, we need to build the pot. So if you're going to give a substantial amount of money, let us know. I'll be walking around with the guys collecting for Happy Dollars, and I've got the tickets with me, okay? Are there any questions? There shouldn't be by this time. Thank you.
All right, buy those tickets. Thanks. And now, speaking of Happy Dollars, Bob Phipps.
Oh my God.
Bob, is your mic on?
Is it on?
Yep,
Is
make
it
sure
on?
you talk
It
into
seems
that,
to me
okay?
Not that I need one. And we are collecting today for foundation or what? All right, Mr. Mill. Yes, sir.
Tammy just has advised me that we have collected another $1,000 for the Ian hurricane victims of Southwest Florida. So we've gone from 100 up to just under $10,000. So that's a good showing in the district that we're in.
All right, George, here's the question. If you're in a casino and someone calls you a George, okay, somebody else, they call you a George, what does that mean? Anybody know? What's a George? No, a George is a big tipper. If somebody calls you a George, it's considered a compliment. Not that they'd ever call George Mills that, but who knows? All right, anybody? All right. Anybody know where does blackjack come from? Does anybody know how did the name become blackjack?
I did not know the answer to that. However, okay. 2 Happy Dollars for 2 back-to-back national championship Georgia Bulldogs.
All right. What it was the earlier version of the game, probably started in France, was if you had the black jack of spades, you won something, and that was why it happened. All right. Buddy? Amen. Okay, what happens if you're sitting on 16 and the dealer has a face card? What do? Take a hit. That's right. Very good. We're learning something. Good Lord. No one is, everybody's hoarding their money or what? Or it's just they know if they happen to speak, then I'm going to continue to speak, so it'll take forever and we'll never get to Joe Boy. That could be. Good point. I'm sure that's exactly it. All right, anybody else? Okay, other than that, thank you.
All right.
Boy,
Thank
that
you,
was-
Bob.
That was weak.
You didn't get a chance to tell any of your jokes
You'll
today.
never have me. I know, I didn't.
Well,
Y'all
okay.
were spared.
All right, well, thank you very much. Now, it's time for our speaker. I'd like our guest speaker to come up, who is a member of our club, Joe Boy. Joe's a computer guy. He's a producer, a director, and a solution provider. His favorite job is being a dad. He enjoys helping people and finding solutions for varied problems. Joe teaches others to give their time and talents instead of finances, and to be aware and always willing to help your fellow man. Living a life of service can be very fulfilling and good for your business. Joe Boy is not a professional speaker trying to sell you stuff. He's exciting, fun, and hopes to teach you something new every day. So please help me welcome member Joe Boy.
Hi, I'm Joe Boy. Can y'all hear me in the back? Can you hear me in the front? Okay, that's important because I want to make sure y'all can hear me and I'm not popping too loud, right? You can hear me fine? Okay, he did start off by saying, I am not a professional speaker. Really, I'm not. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm not going to tell you to get on my program, or I don't have a bunch of books behind me to get you on. Trust me, I'm just here to give you some free information to hopefully help you guys with a basic problem that a lot of people have. Now, we had some technical issues, so we're going to see if we can share this screen real quick and get it to work and share sound and all that fun stuff and see whether or not that's working. Do we have my mug on there yet? There we go. Okay. So today we're going to talk about something that affects everybody, and that is internet scams. Not only how to recognize them, but also how to avoid them. Now, how many people here have, not you, but you know someone that has been affected by internet scam? It could be you, but we don't want everyone to raise your hand if you've got hit by it. So anyone who's been affected by an internet scam or knows someone who has, okay? So that's almost 80% of the room. How do you think they felt? They felt horrible, didn't they? It wasn't fun. It's not a great experience to be hit by internet scam. First off, it makes people feel like they're an idiot, and they're not an idiot. There are people that are trained to hurt you through your empathy. They're trained to hurt you from the basic knowledge that you normally know. So we're going to talk about a couple of them and where they exist. First off, the types of scams that are out there. Okay, and if you've got a camera, you want to take a photo of that, please, by all means, take a photo of these slides because they will help you. Okay, the first and foremost, the most common one is emails with a link. It's otherwise known as phishing. Okay, an email with a link. They send you an email and they say, just click right here. And it could be for any number of reasons. Most popular, we have a FedEx package for you. You got to click here to be able to find out why we couldn't deliver it. We have a UPS package. Or here's an invoice that you owe us money and you need to pay us. And you're like, I don't owe you any money. And so you click on the link to be able to retort saying, I don't owe you money. Once they click on the link, they're trying to get something from you. Usually it's a username and password, or it's financial information, or it's just your name and address so they can sell that to somebody else. This is very, very important. You don't want to click on the link at all. And if you're not sure, I'll explain later on exactly how to determine whether or not it's a safe email or coming from someone that's bad. The next one, and by the way, emails, 90% of most internet scams start with an email. 90%. So if you just fix that, you've solved most of the problems right there. Next is misspelled websites. Now, we're all perfect spellers, so we don't make mistakes, I'm sure. But people type in the word chase.com to go to the bank. Well, some people type really fast, and instead of CHASE, they type in CHSAE.com. And it looks just like the same bank. So you assume it must be okay. I didn't make a mistake. And you type in your username and password. And 5 minutes later, your bank account's empty. And by the way, it's that fast. So always make sure you're looking at the website and that you look at what you type in and that you're not misspelling things, because you can literally lose your entire life savings in 5 minutes because you typed in your username and password. The best way to stop that is something called two-part authentication. How many people have heard of two-part authentication? Well, that's great to see all those hands go up, because that is the easiest way to solve it. You use your phone to click on that and authorize that transaction. This way, even if they have your username and password, they still can't get into your bank. And that's very important. So if you don't have two-part authentication on your phone and for your banks and all that, do it today. Do not wait. Next is selling your information. Now, guess what? Selling your information doesn't sound like a big deal because someone gets your information and then they give it to someone else and they might sell it for something as cheap as $5. But that person's going to take time with your information. That person may not attack you today. They may wait 6 months and then use that information to hurt you, whether or not they're charging stuff for your charge card, using your address to drop in mailboxes. It could be anything. Now, recently I had a standing judge call me up because he was having trouble with his Fire Stick. And he says, I was having trouble. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning and I was trying to do it. I didn't want to call you and bother you. So I went ahead and I went to the internet and searched, how do I fix my Fire Stick? And he went to the website and saw a little button where it says chat now. And he chatted now and someone's helping him, on their thing. And they talked about it for a good 30 minutes and he still couldn't figure it out. They said, well, you know what? Can I call you on the phone? The guy calls him on the phone and said, well, let's get into your computer and we're going to try to remote in. And they remote in the computer. And next thing you know, he's got a bill for $400 and his Fire Stick still isn't working. And they've copied all his information off his computer. Now, he went and looked for them. It was very simple. They're selling his information now to a bunch of different people. And I've worked with him for the last 3 days in order to be able to solve the problem and change all his passwords and all that. But that's how quick it can be. Next, direct phone calls. You don't even have to have a computer to be scammed. I know Miss Tammy says she doesn't use her computer that much, right? I know, I just called her out. But I'm sure there's other people here that don't really think, I don't use a computer, it won't affect me. My grandmother is 102 years old. She got a phone call and it said, Grandma? And she goes, Joe? She just gave him my name. And the call goes, I need help, I'm in jail. I'm going to send you to my lawyer. Can you talk to him? Oh, of course, of course. Next, you know, there's a guy on the phone saying, hi, I'm Joe's attorney. I'm trying to help him. He didn't do anything wrong, but they're accusing him anyway, and we need to help him right away. We need to get bail money. We need $8,000. Please go to Walmart and go get gift cards. Now, no one's going to ask you to pay with gift cards, but people fall for it all the time. She's 102 years old, and she's trying to find a way she spent half an hour trying to find a way to get to the car. Now, she can't drive. And she's desperate to find a way to help me. Lucky for me, someone was able to help her, told her it might be a scam, and they called me and I told her it wasn't me. People fall for this every day. Next one, dating websites. I'm sure no one here uses dating websites, but it happens. And they quickly fall in love with you and tell you how amazing you are. And guess what? They're in another country and they want to meet you and this, that, and the other. In fact, they're having trouble with their loved ones. They're going to send you their money. They're going to send you $100,000 in the mail. All you got to do is accept the package. You say, sure, I'll take your $100,000. You can take some if you want. And you're waiting for the package. The package comes in and they say, well, because it's coming from another country, you have to make sure you're not a terrorist. We have to make sure, that's not a terrorist. So you got to pay a $200 processing fee. And so you pay the $200 processing fee and they go, oh, wait, we're having another problem. It has to go through customs and we need another $200 and another $300. After $1,000 later, you get a package. It's a ream of paper. And you paid all that money for nothing. The last one was phone texting. Everyone loves phone texting, right? You love those spam calls telling you to buy something or click something. These are all different scams, and all they have to do is get the start. Once they got the start, they're going to get you, and it's going to hurt. But where is it coming from? How many people think they know where it's coming from? No? They're coming from these office buildings. They look like professional offices. In India, guess what? 98% are coming out of an office building in India. And I can verify that. These are office buildings. They go to work. They're working 3 shifts a day. So they have 3 shifts. Those computers are always working. There's always someone on it. They're making phone calls. They're talking to you all the way. They're representing Microsoft, McAfee, any brand that you might be familiar with and believe in and trust. And because they're using that trusted brand, you're going to trust them. And they're taking away your money. Now, folks, when I tell you this is real, this is a $90 billion a year business. One of these call centers is making $65,000 an hour. Every hour. So by the time this meeting's done, $65,000 has been made stealing people's money. And it's not just the United States, it's all over the world they're stealing money from. So who's the target? Senior citizens. In fact, most of the calls, they'll turn around and says, if you are over the age of 65, press 1. If you are under the age of 65, press 2. And as soon as you press 2, they hang up. Because they don't want them, they want someone who has extra savings of money. They want that life savings. And they're after your money, and they're going to use your empathy. They're going to use your honesty against you. One of the greatest scams, and it really works every time, is to turn around and say, we owe you $200. We'd like to pay you back the $200. So give us the banking information, we'll put it in the account. But we want to make sure you get to the right form, and since you're not really good with computers, we'll remote in and help you. And they help them log in, and they bring them to a fake site that says the amount of money that they're going to pay. And they type in the 200, they make the person type in the 200. But just before they press OK, they add 2 more zeros. And now all of a sudden went from 200 to $20,000. And when they press enter, they go, oh my gosh, what happened? We gave you $20,000. Meanwhile, they got a guy in the background changing your web page to make it look like your bank says you have an extra $20,000 that you didn't have. So when you see your own website saying you got an extra $20,000, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to press that. I made a mistake. So you feel wrong. You feel like you made a mistake. And you're desperate to help that poor guy whose family is going to get fired. Him and the whole family is going to be in trouble because you took their money. So you got to pay it back, and they don't know how to give it back. Go get a gift card, right? You don't want to run into this. Now, what can you do about it? There's tons of stuff to do. I like to have fun with them. As soon as I realize it's a scam, my job is to waste their time. Keep them on the phone, because guess what? They're not bothering someone else. Have fun wasting your time. One of my favorite ones is act like I can't spell. So they say, just type in www.teamviewer.com. I'm like, okay, Sonny, I can do that. D-U-B-A dot, how do you spell team? They go, what's this D-U-B-A? www, right? Just keep them busy. Make them last a really long time. That way, they're going to be able to serve anybody else. Now, the fun part is there's actually a contest on the web for it. So far, 4 hours and 48 minutes is the longest they've held someone on the phone trying to scam them. That is a lot of fun and definitely something that people should be doing. Now, how to avoid these scams? I'm going to give you a lot of different ideas. And again, take a photo of the slide if you want to remember them all. First off, never, 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 ever let anyone remote into your computer that you don't know personally. Now, I have a number of my clients in the room, and you don't have to raise your hands, but you'll know who you are. Those people, I say, hey, let me remote into your computer. But they know me personally, and I always say, if you don't hire a computer guy that you like and trust, don't hire me, because you have to like and trust someone who's in your computer, because they have access to everything. So you better like them and you better trust them. So never let anyone else remote into your computer unless you know them personally. If you have not shaken their hand and you don't know them, do not let them remote in their computer for any reason. I don't care how big your problem is and what a bother it is. Do not let anyone remote into your computer. Is that easy to remember? Okay, we got one yes, so I'll take that one. Okay, next. Emails that come in. This is the biggest one right here. Check and confirm the from email address. How many people know when you look at your email where the from is? It has a name, and then it has a beginner, the @ symbol, an end, and a .com or .something else. Okay? Everyone just sees the name. And the name could be your best bud or the bank or whatever. That name does not matter, folks. It can be anyone writing that name. What matters is what comes after that name. That email address will be a name, the @ symbol, and what comes after that @ symbol, that's what you check. If it's coming at .ru, that's coming from Russia. It's not even coming from Microsoft. Or if it says helpdesk.microsoft.help.com, it's not coming from Microsoft. It needs to be coming from Microsoft.com. So if you're not sure, it's real easy, send it to me. And I'm not even gonna charge you. I'll just go ahead and take a look at it. You hit that little forward button, send it to me, and I'll take a look at it for free and tell you whether or not it's probably a scam. My clients send it to me all the time. And I get them in a list and I go, yeah, that's a scam. Don't click on anything until you double check. But if you look at that from email address and it's not from the person you want, don't click on anything. Just hit that little delete and make it go away. Now should be easy for most people, but if you're not familiar, never pay with a gift card or a wire transfer. No one wants your gift card. No one needs you to go and buy Google Play cards so that you can pay a bill. Okay? That is just a way to get guaranteed money that is untraceable. That's why they do it. You can't trace back where that money went and who it came from. So never ever pay any bill or anything with a gift card. And everyone can remember that. No gift cards. Okay? Gift cards are sent as a gift and go away. Never pay a bill with it. Again, any questionable emails, if you have any question on something, just send it to me, and I'm not even going to bill you. I'm just going to help you get through what you need to do. And people sending me stuff all the time, that's okay. Lastly, my father works for an organization called Seniors versus Crime. Now, that's actually run by the state of Florida, and he works there, and it's where they can inform senior citizens about different scams, different attacks that are out there, and you can report crimes that have occurred. So contact their website, report anything that ever happens. To be honest, the police aren't going to do anything. They get hundreds of them a day, so they're going to, yeah, okay, whatever. Senior versus Crime will take each one seriously, take a look at them, find out what it is, and look for patterns to track. And then they report them all in a big database. Now, remember I said I like to have fun and I like to waste their time? See, that's the best thing you can do. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up, for the people in this room, most of you guys already know a lot of this stuff. A lot of people raise their hands. They knew not to, send gift cards and so forth. But guess what? Not everybody does. So the best thing you can do is take the messages that I've sent you today and tell your friends. Notice I'm not asking for money. I'm not selling books. I just want you to tell your friends what these scams are and how not to fall for them. If they can just do that little list of 5 things of what not to do, that stops them. Because if more people know, the more people, it doesn't make money. There's $65,000 an hour goes away because too many people know the answers, okay? Now, there are people that are out there to help you, and you don't even know who they are. How many people know what YouTube is? Okay, about half, that's good. Okay, most people, those who don't, YouTube is where you can watch videos of all sorts of different kinds, and they got cat videos, they got educational videos. I'm even on there every once in a while, and my son is. But there's actually YouTubers that love to stop scammers. And what they do is they may be young 20, 30-year-old guys, but they talk like old ladies and they say, okay, Sonny, I can help you. And they're really, really good at it. Unbelievable. So I have the 4 that I have listed here. So take a photo of that if you want. These are the most entertaining guys that catch the scammers and scam them back. Okay, so scammer paybacks wipes out all their documents in their file server. Every time they call him, he connects into their computer and he wipes out all their files. Jim Brownie, he likes to go into their, when they're connected to the bank account, he goes into their bank account, empties it out, and sends it to different charities. He did one for $1.2 million. That's what they made that day. And he dumped $1.2 million into a charity account. Kitbot, well, he likes to physically go there and cause them lots of problems. Now, Mark Rober, he's my favorite. Now, he is a NASA engineer, and he does a lot of cool things. Now, I'm going to try to see if we can get this video to play, and I'm told I have to take this mic and turn it here so you guys can hear.
I had 100 cockroaches here, and I placed them in this James Bond-style contraption that turns this ball screw and forces them out after a specified time delay. Then I put it in a lunchbox for camouflage, and then I released them in this office. Now you might think, that's not very nice, Mark. Some people are afraid of cockroaches. Trust me, I know. And that's exactly the point, because this isn't just any office. This is ground zero for one of those terrible call centers that scams people of their life savings. A year ago when I released this video about inadvertently stumbling onto the low-level thugs in this international scam operation, I said we were going to glitter bomb our way all the way to the top, even if it meant taking this fight to the other side of the globe. And so after a year and a half of planning, we infiltrated not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different scam call centers. We released cockroaches, smoke bombs, stink bombs, glitter bombs, and then of course we hacked their CCTV so we could watch the whole thing unfold in real time. So buckle up, because this is the wild conclusion to this multinational adventure.
And with that, are you able to turn that? And this is why I work with laptops. Okay, and so at that point, it's a good time to answer any questions y'all have, because Mark Robert is a blast, as you saw. He literally hacks their CCTV cameras so you can watch, and he sends them glitter bombs, and he does all sorts of cool stuff. Now, he's not hurting anybody. Of course, setting the Viagra in the men's bathroom with the company owner's name on it, that probably really annoys people too. So there's lots of things you can do to annoy those people. So, any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. That was a good presentation, and I get half of those. So a lot of those you're saying don't click on the link. If you click on the link, is there some way that they're getting to your computer from that link itself?
Most of the time, no, but sometimes there are a few. If they open up a small teeny window on the side and starts moving very quickly, yes, but that's very slim done because most of the browsers now block those. Stop the share.
And is that the same between your phone or your computer, either one?
Well, yes, the phone one, there are other tools that people use, but they usually get you to say allow. That's the key. You have to click on that allow. So going to the thing is one thing, but then it's going to ask you, will you allow it? And if you click that allow, you are in trouble.
But you know, I just got the scam. Twice I got the U.S. Post Office one. Mm-hmm. So I usually go and just go on the side and go to the website, whatever their email says.
Right.
It put me right into the USPS, and I don't think it was the post office site. So do they actually create fake sites off of those?
Absolutely.
All right.
It's a completely fake site. It looks just like they're lining to suck you up.
I'm not getting my $1,000 back?
No.
If you let somebody remote in and you can see what they're doing, can they be doing something in the background? Or they
always do. The first 5 seconds are key. The first 5 seconds, they already got all your passwords. Backwards from behind, they got all your browser passwords. They got another guy testing those passwords to make sure they're working. That first 5 seconds, the longer you're on, it takes about 30 minutes to get everything, to get all your emails, all your contacts, because you're going to email your contacts and say, hey, listen, I've got they found out you own a business. So they're going to say, hey, listen, we got an invoice. We want you to send it over here. I watched someone lose $30,000 in payroll because they told the accountant, change the new bank to here. It's that easy. Your information is key. That's what it says. Selling information, that's most dangerous. The longer they're on the computer, the more it's going to hurt. 5 seconds to get all your passwords. You give them 30 minutes, they're going to get everything.
Joe, I have a question. A lot of times the phone will ring. It'll have a number. It won't say spam alert or
yes.
It'll ring and no one's on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
What's that all about?
They're trying to verify that you're a person and not a robot, and they're trying to verify, so once they know you're a person, they can sell your name to someone else who's going to call you repeatedly to scam you with stuff.
Even though you're not talking to anybody.
That's correct. If you pick it up, then you're a person. If you say hello, they know it's a real person. And they can tell usually from that if you're a man or a woman, and they log that and then sell those.
Okay.
Michael, on that, basically, what I do is I put them on mute. I answer the phone because people do call my phone all the time for different things. So I do put them on mute. Then I know if somebody's saying something or anything. How's that work?
It could feel, they might think it's an automated call. I don't know. I'll tell you what I do when I get those calls. I go, hi, it's Joe Boy, and we're with WTHM102james.com, and you're on the air. What can I do for you? Guess what? They always hang up. I can't imagine why.
Well, they're getting cleverer and nastier. Now the newest thing they're doing is they are purporting to be big-time lottery winners. So you can go check the name, where they're from, and everything else, and it fits there. And then they say, we went out and we decided we were going to give away a lot of this money to people who we don't even know because poor people need some help and all that. And then they tell you you're going to get a car plus $200,000. Just, go through this stuff and all that. So it's just getting pretty bad.
There are a ton of scams out there. That is correct.
I recently called USAA, my insurance company, and they switched me to somebody with a foreign speaking. I could tell they were foreigners. And they spoke in broken English, but what is up with the transfer from USAA?
Well, sometimes they're just trying to save money, so they hire people from all over the place. And so, and you can tell, I mean, most of the scammers are like, hello, my name is Bob. They're not going to use a foreign name. They're going to just say they're Bob or Tom. But sometimes it's just, if they're using a foreign name, then they probably are really from USA. They're just being contracted for it. Mm.
Yeah, we had my mother-in-law got a call, she's in her late 80s, got a call from somebody who had a grandson's name and said they were the attorney and was going down this path. Her daughter was there, and after a while, it's like, who are you talking to? Finally realized it really wasn't going to be that, because the people on the phone called her grandma, not Nana.
Right.
And that stopped the whole thing. But she was like fishing for a credit card to give him a credit card number, and the daughter-in-law stopped it.
Yeah, it's very easy to lose your life savings and realize they're not just after $10 or $100. They're after everything you got. And they're there to make you feel like you're the one at fault. Yes.
Hey, Joe, we have a question from one of our members online, from Jason Beery.
Okay.
Can you make me feel better about two-factor identification? It seems best at nagging me and locking me out of my own accounts for a week at a time. God help anyone who changes phone numbers.
I understand that sometimes they can be annoying. I will tell you, it is the best thing you can do to protect your accounts from nefarious people. That way you can even give out your username and password and it doesn't matter, because they can't click on your phone. And even if they steal your phone, they'd have to know who you are, who's your phone, and your username and password to get it all. You know all that stuff. And if you change phones, you can transfer your two-part authentication pretty easily. I like to tell it to attach to my phone number, because I'm always going to keep my phone number and not my phone, and or to an email. That seems to be the best way for me, but everyone can choose a different way to do their two-part authentication. There is authenticator apps you can put on your phone and use them as a backup as well.
Joe, thank you for your presentation. It's very informative. About a year ago, I had I was on my desktop, and all of a sudden the screen lights up red and then flashing back and forth, and it was.
We saw the website you're looking, and you're going to get in trouble if you don't give us money.
Yeah, well, it said malware or something,
Right.
whatever it is, and they wanted $500 to.
And you only have 200 minutes to 200 seconds before it ends and encrypts all your files, right?
Yeah, but it repeated itself. Finally, we called Apple, and they cleared it up for us, you know. But
Are you sure it was Apple who you called, or the number that was on the screen?
That was a strange event.
Yeah, I tell people, if you get something like that, don't call them, call me, and I'll be more than happy to walk you through and get you out of it and so forth.
Hold on, Joe.
Joe, I get calls all the time on my phone, and it will be a number I don't recognize. I really like people who have their notification on it, and it's very possible it's somebody I would want to talk to, but I scroll down and do this, block this caller every time it's somebody I do not recognize. Does it do any good? Does it actually block that one? I know it'll roll over to the next one and the next one.
Correct. There are thousands of phone numbers to try to block.
But that one is
I find the most effective is a bullhorn. Because when they get a really bad response, they pull you off their list because they don't want to affect their staff. That's why I like to say you're on the air live, because now they're scared that they might get found out. So they pull me off the list.
Question. I have shared my screen with AppleCare on a very few occasions. Do you know of any incidents where AppleCare people have been involved in scams or?
It's usually not coming from the company. It's coming from someone acting like the company. So the key element is, how do you know for sure it's AppleCare? Did you make sure it was the AppleCare website and that you called the number yourself? You initiate the call and not the other way around. Lots of
Joe.
questions today. That's good.
Joe, I've been wondering this since you joined Rotary. How do I get the name Joe Boy? I like that name.
Well, in France, it's Monsieur Joseph Moise Bois. They don't know how to spell here, so they just say Joe Boy. It works.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is a product like Dashlane supposed to protect your password? Is that a bad idea?
Yeah. There's tons of them out there, and they all say they're going to save your passwords for you and make your life simple. I'm going to give you a quick tip on how to solve your password problem. Using all those things and making complicated passwords just makes your life hard. So here's how to make a complicated password that a computer can't hack. A computer can hack an 8 or 10 character password in about 4 minutes, no matter how complicated you make it. So you're just making your life hard. So I'm going to tell you to take 4 words that you like and then make that a password. Okay? So if you like science and you like the news and you like cars and you like trucks, say science, news, cars, trucks, and that's your password. You can decide to make uppercases for the different words if you want, and you can also turn around and take any O's and make them zeros. That solves the needing a number. That's all you need to do because it's 16 characters. At 16 characters, a brute force computer attack would take about 20 years to get through. And you know the password. And if you need to modify it, just add a shift 1, a shift 2, or a shift 3 at the end, and that helps give you some variety if you need to have variety. That solves the problem for passwords once and for all. I do not like the tools that do it because someone else can use those tools against you if they get into your computer. Because now they know all your passwords.
Joe, before you go, I'm going to take a point of personal, are we on? Yeah. A point of personal privilege and ask you to talk about Tiberius. I put in a plug a couple of weeks ago about getting some of the guys and gals in the club to be on your son's radio show. How's he doing? And how do we get some of the people in this room to join Tiberius? It is a blast to see this young man.
And I want to thank Bill. He actually found a way to get me physically in the building instead of just on Zoom. I guess making me be a speaker, we'll do that. Here's some of the things. My son has a radio show, for those who don't know. It's called The Tiberius Show. You can find him on YouTube. He's also on 10 stations nationwide and 1 in London. And he talks to people about what is it you do for a living and how does it make the world a better place. That's all he wants to know. He wants to find out every vocation out there and why kids would want to grow up and do that job. If you have a vocation that you've done and you think is somewhat interesting, please email me at joeboy@thetiberiusshow.com, and I will go ahead and set you up an appointment to meet with Tiberius and do an interview with him and talk about what you did and why it is a benefit to the world. It's really simple. And since you gave me the plug, if you go to YouTube and hit that subscribe button, that would really help him out. He loves to read people's comments about what they think about the videos. And he wants a garbage man. He wants every single job out there, an insurance person. It doesn't matter the job because every job is interesting to a kid. And that's key.
Joe, thank you. Thanks for all the good advice.
Joe, thanks very much. And before you walk off, we have something for you here. So this is our little way of saying thank you for the great presentation and insights. So
I hope I was entertaining.
Yeah, one more time. Let's have a hand for Joe Boy. Thank you. All right. That concludes our meeting. Remember, we're a business club, do business with Rotarians. So always be safe, be well, be involved, and be a Rotarian. Now we're going to do the raffle before the 4-way test. So one more time. All right.
Hey, everybody, we have $55 more today, so we're up to $355. So if somebody picks the Queen of Spades, they're going to get $177.
All right, the person who gets to draw the Queen of Spades is 039903. 039. All right. Yeah. You got it? Brett? Okay, Brett.
Brett's done that more than once.
Yeah. You feel lucky today? All right.
That's all it takes is one ticket, everybody.
Okay. We get it. Okay, Queen of Spades we're looking for. Anyone you want. And it is not the Queen of Spades.
Pot rolls over.
Pot rolls over,
$355 plus whatever we take in next week.
and you're gonna give him his money back for the ticket?
Will do.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. We make a lot more money that way. All right. Thank you to everyone who's joined us today. We appreciate you and all the people on Zoom. And now please join us for the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Our meeting is adjourned.